Society shame. Today is Tuesday, June 23rd. I got to repeat this because I'm trying to get a Facebook page, social media for social change. I'm trying to get Facebook tied to this. So now we have a live feed on Anchor Podcast and we have a live feed on Facebook. This is Tuesday, June 23rd, 2020. This is Trifling Tuesday. This is for all the politicians, the Maryland Democratic Party. This is for Governor Hogan. This is for Brian Frost. This is for the people that I tag in Facebook. Social media for social change. A lot of y'all can't see this, but on Facebook, you can go to Facebook, Dwayne G. Davis, and you can see this live broadcast. If you look behind me, that's the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens is looking for a social justice program. They want to donate to a social justice program. I got a Shorty program. It's been in effect since 1997. Governor Hogan approved. Governor O'Malley approved it in 2006. I was making a movie about the Democratic Party and social justice. Making a movie about stop and frisk and zero tolerance. I was making a movie about race and racism in America. You locked me up for it. You called me a terrorist. You locked me up in Illinois. You locked me up in Maryland. So I'm getting ready to tell you a story. Like I said, this is the Baltimore Ravens. And if you look at this storyboard right here, that's Ozzie Newsome from the Ravens. And that's the real news. Ozzie Newsome signed that. All right. I work for 85% of the richest people in the state. All right. And I was making a movie about Baltimore's politics. And I used this toilet to do it. Y'all made me famous for toilets. And I use toilets to get my message out. All right. And that's what I'm going to do. I started this in 2006. It was about Governor O'Malley. Stop and frisk, zero tolerance. It was a Get Shorty program, and Governor O'Malley approved the program in 2006. Right here. I'm showing you this on Facebook, so it's a video diary. Shows everything that I've been doing since 2006. You locked me up and charged me with terrorism because I was exposing the corruption and the racism. I'm an honorably discharged veteran of the United States Navy. And on February the 2nd, 2011, I blew the whistle on Scott Shellenberger, Greg Bernstein, and the Democratic Party. Governor O'Malley them into Greg Bernstein on February the 2nd, the day my mother died. On February the 2nd, Greg Bernstein turned that information over to Scott Shellenberger, and they locked me up on February the 7th. I had a airline ticket to go to Las Vegas, Nevada, because my mother had a lot of the information that I had, and I had to go to Las Vegas, Nevada. My mother died, and I was supposed to go to a funeral, and y'all stopped me from going to the funeral. Instead of going to the funeral, y'all charged me with terrorism. You charged me with terrorism and said that I threatened to blow up the courthouse. I threatened to expose the people in the courthouse. Scott Shellenberger, Judge Turnbull, Judge Souter, Bobby Zirkin's law firm, Judge Turnbull's law firm. I turned y'all into to Greg Bernstein at the Martin Luther King Day parade. Then I put a toilet in front of the Towson courthouse, exposing the money y'all make off of black bodies and corruption in Baltimore County. I named Judge Souter, I named Judge Janae, Judge Papaya, Judge Pearson, Judge Holland. It's making a movie about your courts and your racism in your courts. I'm a caterer. I work for David Irwin. I did the party at David Irwin's house where we had 30 judges there. Them judges were saying nigger so much, I had to leave the party. I'm a caterer. I work for 85% of the richest people in the state. I work for Pat Arakis. I work for Peter Angelos. Matter of fact, I asked Peter Angelos to file a class action lawsuit while I was locked up. If you look at this storyboard, it says community in crisis. We did that in Zion, Illinois in 2007. All right. I got 13 storyboards in the state of Maryland, stole those storyboards. It was movies and movies for the movie Letters to Zion. So what I'm getting ready to do, I had to reshoot all my footage, and I got everything together. So I'm getting ready to break you down. This is a little envelope is about Governor O'Malley. Right here. Like I said, Get Shorty. That's the Get Shorty program. That's the Baltimore Orioles, Al Bumby. All right. I work for the Orioles. I work for the Ravens. I work for 85% of the richest people in the state. But on February the 2nd, 7th, 2011, I was working for Martin Luther King. I applied for his job. I was working for the inmates in the Lake County Detention Center. All right. I was working for the inmates in the Lake County Detention Center. Just like the Khalif Browder story. We're getting ready to frame this conversation. I'm not a terrorist. I'm an activist. I'm a business owner. And my business was exposing the corruption and racism in the courts. You've been denying me access to the courts because I tried to sue Governor O'Malley, Bank of America, SunTrust Bank, Brother Insurance, and Scott Shellenberger and Chief Johnson in 2011 for a $54 million lawsuit. It was to destroy your prison industry. Y'all talking about Black Lives Matter? Dog, this was long before Black Lives Matter was even thought about. It goes to lawsuit. All right. I'm an indigent. I'm an honorably discharged veteran. I'm a homeless veteran. And these are the public officials that had this information before I got locked up. Pollard Towing, Peter Janis, Mark Steiner, WEAA Radio. All right. I'm a businessman. I own my own business. I own Shorty's. And part of Shorty's was my movie production crew. All right. Cartoonist stood up against the little, all right. I use art and activism for my shit. Like I said, this was about your prison industry. Right here. This is all about your prison industry. See the video? I gave that video to the Baltimore Sun. Diana Suggs of the Baltimore Sun has a complete breakdown of my incarceration. All right. This is the Maryland Black Caucus. Delegate Smith, Delegate Clippinger. See the dates? Officers John Cardens, the Maryland Black Caucus. Ed Norris. I was making a movie about y'all and I had to have it all documented. So I got all emails, all certified mail. And I don't want nobody to say that they don't know what I'm talking about. Because this is what your delegates ain't going to show you. All right? This is what your delegates ain't going to show you. Your delegates don't work for you. Your delegates work for the Greater Baltimore Committee. Your delegates don't work for you. Neither does Mosby. Because right here is my request to access the grand jury. Right here, Marilyn Mosby, Office of the States Attorney of Baltimore City. You see that? Dwayne G. Davis. You see that? Head States Attorney, Baltimore City. Y'all signed off on that in 2016. That's 4 years ago. I want to press criminal charges against Scott Shellenberger, Greg Bernstein, and the Democratic Party for racketeering and fraud in the court. The money y'all make off of black bodies. I want to file a class action lawsuit for civil rights violations. Behind the war on drugs. That's Commissioner Davis. You get all the emails from this email right there. You see when this was? Ed Norris, Commissioner Belfield, Commissioner Batts, Commissioner Davis, and Commissioner Harrison, D'Souza, and Tuggle. You got 7 commissioners that have been protecting the corruption in the Baltimore County Democratic Party. 7 commissioners. Plus Commissioner Harris, that makes 8. And Commissioner Harris, Baltimore County, Commissioner Harris and Chief Johnson. That's 9 police officers, 9 chiefs of police that have been protecting the corruption here in Baltimore City and Baltimore County for the last 20 years. Like I said, I was making a movie about y'all. Get Shorty. See it? Get Shorty. Movie called Get Shorty, and it was about the Supreme Court and the war on drugs. That's Chief Justice Roberts of the Supreme Court telling me to file a writ of certiorari to approach the Supreme Court. And I did. That's Pollard towing. Like I said, I was making a movie about the Democratic Party. And that's my producer, Rob Fix. Everything that Rob Fix got is evidence for a federal investigation. That's Rob Fix. That's a court order to have my property returned from Baltimore County. That's a court order. All right. I asked for the grand jury. This is my grand jury request. Right here. Front side, back side. Johnny Oleski has this. T.J. Smith witnessed this. Baltimore County Police Department, Chief Hyatt has this. They will not prosecute Scott Shellenberger because of white supremacy. They will not prosecute Scott Shellenberger because if they prosecute Scott Shellenberger, your white supremacy is going to fall apart in Baltimore County. You're going to have to prosecute Scott Shellenberger and those 52 politicians under Senate Bill 374. That's my request to access the grand jury. Senate Bill 374, a private citizen's request, Baltimore City. So Nick Mosby, Corey McCray, Sidnor, Delegate Stephanie Smith, that's on law already. I'm not asking for no new laws. I'm asking you to enforce the laws that's already in the books. You stole property from me because I was making a movie about y'all. This is the property that you took from me. The entire contents of the defendant's vehicle, a 1999 Chevy Suburban. Under the Fifth Amendment, I'm supposed to be compensated freely, duly, and expensive for convenience of my government. I didn't drop the ball, y'all. I'm still running with the ball in my hand. You owe me for the truck. The truck is $6,000. The contents of the vehicle was worth $130 million. I was selling the movies inside the truck. One of the movies was about the Baltimore Sun. It's called Portraits of a Letter. Another movie was about the prison industry. I got another movie about racism. I got 13 movies. My original movie is Letters Design. That's 14 movies. All right. Social media for social change, and I use social media to do it. Now I'm moving up my game. I'm doing it on a podcast. I'm going to podcast and Anchor Podcast. Like I said, I'm trying to sell this. President Obama asked for an investigation in 2008. I'm the subject of the investigation. It's about your prison industry. Please allow 30 to 60 days. This is my Chicago office. That's Kerry Cogwa, Chicago office of President Barack Obama, then Senator Obama. All right. I went home on vacation. I came back on probation. Right there. Witness of victims' violations. That's the case number. Y'all altered the statements here. You see that? Y'all altered the statements. I went home to file a class action lawsuit. That's what I went home to do. And you can go to Althea Welsh. Right here. Received. 2008. Althea Welsh. See that? I'm a prisoner's right advocate. Just like the Khalif Browder story. I was making a documentary about mass incarceration in your prison industry. I went city, state, county, and federal levels. I went to President Bush, President Obama, President Clinton. 3 presidents. I went to Chief Justice Roberts of the Supreme Court. It's called checks and balances. No part of the government is stronger than the other. Received. This is for the inmates in the Baltimore City, in the Lake County Jail. I got 130 inmates in the Lake County Jail that asked for a class action lawsuit. This is Mr. Waller. That's the case number right there. All right. And this is Patrick Fitzgerald of the Department of Justice in Illinois. I got a case file in Illinois and I got a case file in Maryland. When I filed that paper with Patrick Fitzgerald, I asked for a federal investigation into my incarceration. Here it is. And these are the inmates. These are the inmates. That's what makes it a class action lawsuit. These are the inmates. So this is evidence. The statement of facts is evidence. This is evidence right here. It says I'm a whistleblower. And that's the Department of Justice. Eric Holder, shortman at yahoo.com. The conversation. And we're going to put this in the frame. These are emails. In this email, like I said, we framing the conversation. See the email? Dee Shortman. That's Bobby Zirkin. All right? That's the courts of Lake County. Bobby Zirkin had this. Bobby Zirkin's law firm had this. Judge Turnbull's law firm had this. Y'all make a lot of money off of black bodies through Bobby Zirkin's law firm, through Judge Turnbull's law firm, through Peter Angelo's law firm. It's the war on drugs and the money you make off it. Like I said, I ain't dropped the ball yet. I'm still running with this. That's the Maryland Black Caucus. All right, that's the Maryland Black Caucus in 2009, long before I got locked up. That's Judge Bridges. I had to ask for permission to go to Washington, D.C. to testify in front of the House Judiciary Committee and the Senate Judiciary Committee. Congressman Cummings got my paperwork. This is my request to testify. This is showing you I was making a documentary. All right, that's Dutch Ruppersberger. That's Senator Durbin. All right. And that's Barbara Mikulski. That's 2009. That's a Privacy Act. Barbara Mikulski got that. It was all about Governor O'Malley. It's all about Governor O'Malley. It's all about Governor O'Malley. It's all about Governor O'Malley. This is the Attorney Registrar Disciplinary Committee. And see that? I reported my lawyers because my lawyers participated in this fraud. My lawyers, Ken LaRue, Karen Levy. No, my lawyer, Mr. Bailey, Karen Levy, conspired with the state's attorney to have me incarcerated. You held me for 186 days. You permitted the state to destroy evidence. You went into the Waukegan Police Department and took evidence out of the police department's locker and destroyed that evidence. Then you came to Maryland, and charged me with the same crime. Scott Shellenberger did the same thing in Maryland. Scott Shellenberger and Chief Johnson. You went into the Baltimore County Police Department. You took my truck. You took the computer. You took 13 storyboards. You took videotapes. You took contracts. Man, I'm ready for this. Are you? Like I said, we framing the conversation. We framing the conversation about Sheila Dixon, about the elections. Because when I started this documentary, Sheila Dixon was mayor, and then y'all took Sheila Dixon out of her job and charged her with the credit card fraud. Well, Sheila Dixon did more wrong than that. Y'all just gave her a way out. Sheila Dixon, Brandon Scott. Sheila Dixon and Brandon Scott is part of Governor O'Malley's mob machine. What O'Malley created was he let all these black politicians create their own little circle of friends. And when they created this circle of friends, they created pockets. Each one of them got a pocket. Sheila Dixon got a pocket. Brandon got a pocket. Everybody got a pocket. But all them pockets is tied to Governor O'Malley. All them pockets is tied to Governor O'Malley. Governor O'Malley made y'all, he gave you access to Peter Angelos. He gave you access to this money. And this money is what does with the corruption. Like I said, Brandon Scott got $1 million. Ask, see what he got from Pollard Towing. See what he got from the towing companies. This city paper. And this is City Paper Heroes. Like I said, making a movie and a documentary. Social media for social change. This is Shorty. That's my heroes look. All right. This is Shorty's. This is Shorty's, the best Baltimorean. All right. So we're going to frame the conversation. Am I the best Baltimorean? Am I the best Baltimorean? Because I'm still fighting for freedom. I'm still fighting for justice. I'm doing everything that I started to do. To be the best, you got to beat the best, and you ain't beat me yet. Wow, I guess I done did most of this. I still got about 8 minutes on my podcast. So we're going to go to this. Y'all committing public lynchings. Y'all using chokeholds. Y'all using chokeholds. You killed Tyrone West. You killed Anthony Anderson. You killed Maurice Donald Johnson. You killed Freddie Gray. And these are 4 people that you killed here in Baltimore. More than 4. Baltimore County, you killed Chris Davis. It's legal to kill black people in America. Just like it was legal to lynch. And you used your police department to do it. Your police ain't nothing but slave catchers, and they protect the corruption in the Democratic Party. They protect the corruption in the cities that they protect. They serve and protect the politicians. They don't serve and protect the public. I'm a whistleblower, and I'm coming after your money. That's the Department of Justice. That's my whistleblower's application for the comptroller. I want a federal and a state audit on my store, because my store paid for my activism. My barbecue stand paid for my activism, and I want an audit, a federal and state audit. And see that? That's the state's attorney's office. They got this in 2016. Like I said, I was making a movie, and then everything that I got is in Rob Fick's hands. Rob Fick, Brad Cartwright, and James Pride. Those were people that were shooting my movie, Letters to Zion. This is the movie release for Letters to Zion. All right? That's Governor Hogan. He ain't signed the movie release. That's Governor Hogan. And I really don't need Governor Hogan to sign the movie release, because me and Governor Hogan know me. I ran against Governor Hogan in 2014 as a black Republican. I'm a whistleblower. That's the ACLU and Senator Cardin's office. See that? That's Benji Cardin's. That's 2013. I left the information there with you in 2013. That's Miss Gion. I'm a whistleblower on the courts. You see that? 2006 to 2010. I'm ready to testify in front of the House Judiciary and the Senate Judiciary. Kwasi and Fumi got that. Like I said, Maryland Black Caucus, Stephanie Smith, Delegate Sidnor, Corey McCray, I was making a movie about the Maryland Black Caucus and how y'all don't represent the black community. That's the Maryland Black Caucus. See the names? That's Kathleen Pugh. Kathleen Pugh is a witness in my shit. So when she get out of jail, she gonna be sitting on the witness stand. She gonna be a witness or a defendant. You see the names of that? These are your representatives. These are your black leadership. See the date? 2009. You kidnapped me from my home. You stole me like slavery. And the Maryland Black Caucus permitted that. The Maryland Black Caucus permitted that. See that? I was making a movie about your prison industry, and the Maryland Black Caucus left me in there. The Maryland Black Caucus make a lot of money off of locking up black bodies claiming to be black representatives. U.S.C make a lot of money too. I work for homelessness and mass incarceration, homelessness and prisoners' rights. And that's my homeless barbecue, August 2014. I've been feeding the homeless since 2011. And it's very well documented. This is my store on Falls Road. That's Carrie Bennett. All right, A Perfect Ride. These are stories of people. These are stories of Shorty that people wrote about me. I'm the black guy in the middle of those two little white girls. Because you ain't got to be scared of black men in Baltimore. I was making a documentary about race and racism, and I was doing it on Falls Road. I was using white people to make the movie. See that? Everybody like barbecue. See that? These are the people that support. All right? They're not running from me. They're not trying to lynch me. This is white Baltimore standing up for a black man. And I was making a movie and they took numbers. They took numbers. I took that toilet to Washington, D.C. I took it everywhere. These are the supporters of Shorty. I was doing a movie about race and racism, and I was letting white people do it. You ain't got to be scared of me. I'm not going to rape your kids. You ain't got to be scared of me. I'm riding a white horse. You ain't got to be scared of me. You feel me? That's my cousin David. He died in December. I lost a lot of my family members lately. And I want to go home. I want to go back and be with my family. But because you labeled me a terrorist, I can't be around my family. But I can be around white people. These are the people that support me. These are the people that are in my movie. All right? We took names and numbers. All right? And I'm going to show you about being black in America. Like I said, I was making a movie, and I used white people to make the movie. I use my white privilege because I'm a white man. My birth certificate says I'm white. My prison ID says I'm white. I'm the blackest white man you ever met. These are the supporters of Shorty. Now, Dick Wright, his son is on the Facebook page. I gave Dick all my information when I was locked up. Dick's office burned down with my information in it. Like I said, I was making a movie. And these are the people in the movie. All right. That's Lori Penzick from Fox 45. I raised a lot of money. All right. And on this note, we're going to leave it right here. I'm going to show the hidden assets. I'm going to show Baltimore's money. I'm going to show you where these politicians get their money from. You get donations from them. I cater for them. I work for 85% of the richest people in this state. And I'm going to show you where the money is. That's the end of my podcast. So this is Trifling Tuesdays. This is for all those trifling black politicians in Baltimore. Trifling is the word I'm going to use for you. And I'm getting ready to shit on you. I'm putting out toilets. And I've been collecting toilets. How many toilets is it going to take before you lock me up again? You lock me up again, we go to court again. Like I said, I didn't drop the ball. I'm sending this to the Ravens. Social justice for social change. Mic check.